Hello guys, my name is Luca from AudioTribe YouTube channel, and in this video I will tell you which is better and why between the new flagship from JBL, the JBL BAR 1000 and the JBL BAR 800. I will not go into technical details and I will tell you directly the pluses and minuses between these two new soundbars from JBL. The JBL BAR 1000 is a 7.1.4 surround sound system with up to 880 watts, while the JBL BAR 800 is a 5.1.2 surround sound system with up to 720 watts combined power through all the speakers. Both include two up-firing speakers for Dolby Atmos 3D sound, has two rear detachable battery power speakers and one 10-inch wireless subwoofer. The JBL BAR 1000 cost $1,100 and the JBL BAR 800 cost about $850, so the difference between them is about $250. Now let's see if the JBL BAR 1000 is worth $250 more than the JBL BAR 800. Both soundbars support Dolby Atmos due to the rear and up-firing speakers and get that immersive experience, but in my opinion a traditional Dolby Atmos system with speakers mounted on the ceiling gives you the best Atmos feeling. In my test, the Atmos sound is quite weak on both, and the rear speakers at the JBL BAR 1000 are louder due to the increased power and the added up-firing speakers from 80 watts to 140 watts in the JBL BAR 1000. I recommend setting the rear speakers and Atmos function to the highest level to be able to enjoy the Atmos feeling.
You're not stopping.
Neither are we.
The new upcoming JBL BAR 1300, the extra up-firing speakers and the 1170 watts should improve the Atmos experience by a lot. So the first big differences between them is the rear detachable speakers, because the JBL BAR 800 lacks the up-firing drivers. You see here, they are very similar but lacks the up-firing drivers. Both soundbars have the same wireless subwoofer. It has a boxy look that is made from wood and offers the same amount of power, 300 watts, that give you a thrilling and precise bass. Has the same 10-inch big speaker that is mounted on the bottom of the box, so it is protected from dust or even the sharp claws of the kitties. Both connect wirelessly to the soundbar and require a single power cord, so they can be easily mounted in the room. If you look at the two main units of the soundbar, you will say that they are identical, but the JBL BAR 1000 main unit is slightly wider than the JBL BAR 800, and the JBL BAR 1000 adds two more HDMI input ports besides the HDMI ARC connector, digital optical input, Ethernet port, as well as the USB port. The soundbar don't have an aux port that you usually see, but since there is an optical as well as HDMI ports available, missing an aux port is not such a big deal. The main soundbar units of both have a sturdy construction and are made only from plastic, so they can be cleaned very easily. Both have the same full LED display that is positioned on the right side of the front face and provides you with various information like input selection, volume, and sound format, amongst others. On the right side of the main unit on the soundbar, on top, you will find the same layout of button with a volume control and input selection button that can be used for various functions depending how many times you press it, so they are very similar. If you don't want to bother with buttons turning on and off, the JBL BAR 1000 and 800 has CAC functionality. That means that the unit will turn on and off automatically when it detects a signal in HDMI port and will take the volume directly from the TV. In the package is included the remote control, which provides all the necessary buttons in order to control all the soundbar functions. They are identical. Both have the same smart function integration, and you can stream music to the soundbar with Apple AirPlay, Alexa Multi-Room Music, Chromecast, and they can be controlled by your preferred voice assistant, Alexa, Google, or Siri. Also, both soundbars use JBL Pure Voice technology that optimizes voice clarity and has JBL One app where you can enable equalizer adjustments. As far as their performance, both soundbar will certainly amaze you with bass power, clear sound, and have enough power to completely fill with sound a very big room. But of course, with the added up-firing drivers on the rear speakers, the JBL BAR 1000 improves the rear sound and atmos feeling. The main two big differences between the JBL BAR 800 and 1000 are at the rear detachable speakers, where two up-firing drivers are added on the JBL BAR 1000 and two additional HDMI inputs, nothing else. And for $250 more, from my point of view, the JBL BAR 1000 is not worth it. The JBL BAR 800 is amazing, but not much better than the JBL BAR 9.1 that was released in 2020 and now costs about $750. If you want 3D sound and rear detachable speakers, of course the JBL BAR 1000 is better than the JBL BAR 800, and the JBL BAR 800 is similar with the JBL BAR 9.1 from 2020. But if you want the JBL soundbar and your budget is only $500, I will definitely recommend the 5.1 from 2020 with rear detachable speakers, not the JBL BAR 500 or the JBL BAR 5.1 surround from 2020, because they are missing the rear speakers and the rear atmos feeling. What are your impressions? Feel free to subscribe AudioTribe YouTube channel and please hit that like button. Cheers!